So I heard you want a sourdough starter gift guide. I'm gonna take the dogs out and go lay down. We'll get started. First, a mason cash bowl. This is just a luxury. You can mix your sourdough in any big bowl, but a mason cash bowl is just beautifully designed. It also will last forever if you take care of it. And it looks beautiful on your countertop, and you can mix pancakes and anything else you want because it's a nice big bowl, but it's not too big to be like not fitting in your cabinets or anything. A mason cash bowl this size, the 4.25 quart bowl, is what I recommend, and it's about $50. It's probably the most expensive thing on this list. Next is a book about sourdough. It's called The Perfect Loaf, and I love this book. It's really taught me so much, and I wish I had it from the very beginning of my sourdough journey. It has obviously recipes for any kind of sourdough thing you would want to make, bagels, artisan, inclusion loaves. But what I love so much about this book is that it has QR codes that give you step-by-step tutorials through the recipe. It also gives you definitions for everything to do with sourdough so that you understand what's happening with your dough. Please get this book if you're a beginner or you're an advanced baker. It really cleaned up a lot of things that I've been doing wrong and questions that I had that I never actually got the answer to. So buy this book. Weck jars are the gold standard for sourdough to keep your sourdough starter in. And what I love about them is that they're really wide mouthed. They don't have ridges on the top of the jar so that sourdough gets stuck and dried in there really bad. And they're easy to clean because they have straight sides, and also the lid is breathable but also closed. It's not airtight, which is what you want, but they're little rubber ring that goes around it to enable you to be able to seal it airtight and put it in your fridge. It's perfect. It's perfect. This is a gift for the sourdough baker who is struggling, and we all know one of those, or two, or three. This is a cup, a disposable 2-ounce sauce cup. What we use this for is to perfect our bulk fermentation. What you do is you take a little bit of the dough and you put it in that cup at the beginning of mixing your dough, and then you set it in with the bulk of your dough so that it's the same temperature the whole time. And as you continue to do all the steps through your sourdough, you know that it's done and your bulk fermentation is finished when that cup has risen and filled the cup. The dough filled the cup, then you know that it's proofed perfectly. So basically, it's time to put your dough in the fridge and all the guessing is gone. This is a game changer. It helps you learn how to not overproof your bread and also proof it enough that it's going to be a perfect loaf every time. It's a perfect little recommendation that I could not recommend enough, and I don't see anyone else saying it. This gift is for the beginner sourdough baker, the one that hasn't started but really wants to start. This is a food scale. Food scales are mandatory, at least with teaching sourdough in my house. What's really important here is that you get a food scale that is high capacity. They might not be mixing bulk sourdough at that time, but it gives them the opportunity to do that later and weigh heavier things. Food scales are pretty inexpensive. I have a KD 9000 that is big, light, and I love it, but I'm going to recommend a different one that's a little lower profile, easier to keep in a drawer, and is still inexpensive and high capacity at the same time. Next is a dough whisk. I used to use a long-handled Danish dough whisk, and I really loved it. But yeah, it does hold on to little bits of starter and whatnot. When I upgraded to a seamless stainless steel dough whisk, oh my gosh, the cleanup, amazing. So elite. Definitely get this. Cheaper than any other Danish dough whisk you'll buy. But here's the tip, get the 12-inch handle. That would be what I would recommend. The longer handle will give you better dexterity when you're mixing your dough. Last one for the day. This is an extra large pastry mat. This goes on your countertop and you mix and knead your dough and shape your dough on top of it. What I love about it is not only is it just the easiest cleanup and it keeps things sanitary, but also it keeps my dough off the cold granite. of the countertop, which siphons the heat out of the dough. So I like to keep a barrier there. The silicone helps a lot. Is it essential? Absolutely not. It's not essential, but I love it and highly recommend it.